how did you find out about Zounds online production, and why did you have to be part of it?
But I found out about Zounds online production and was brought in by BJ, the great and powerful, who decided to form this all, gathering people that he knows through various production means in the past, and those that understand the language, and just calling upon us to join in this fantastic production of all these different plays, all these different works. And it's just been a blast, full on. Every single day. Like, it's the highlight of my week. I know most of us have said the same thing, and it's just incredible to be on this journey with everybody.
I'll just jump in. I got involved with this from BJ, the great and powerful. So BJ just kind of like sent like a little message, and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing like a read through. What do you think about doing that?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, sounds fun. Like, what play do you want to do?" He's like, "The Star Wars read through." And I was like, "Okay, I've never read that, so okay, I'm interested." And then I didn't hear anything for a while because I think he was just assembling the Avengers and grabbing everybody. And then it was like a week before he was like, "Oh hey, you still want to do that thing, right?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, okay." And just jumped right in, saw all these lovely faces who I've gotten to work with a couple people so far beforehand, and it was absolutely fantastic. So I'm really glad I checked my Facebook messages, which I almost never check.
I'll go next because Trent. Oh no.
No, you.
Okay, I'm just gonna take it. Because Trent stole my bit, I was going to make a little Avengers reference and everything, but I got involved. BJ also reached out as he was assembling the Avengers. There was an idea, and asked if I would play Han Solo. And I think if someone asks you to play Han Solo in any sort of media format, you have to say yes. I definitely never thought about saying no, so I've been here ever since. And as everyone else has said, I could not imagine not doing this every week or so.
I owe BJ a Wookiee life debt, so that's why I have to be here. It's not against my will, but it's definitely part of it.
Yeah, I found out from BJ as well. This is all his fault. I am lucky enough to be his neighbor. It truly has become something that I look forward to. And like Trent, I've been able to work with some of these people before in live theater, and a lot of these folks I've never met before, but somehow they've become some of my closest confidants. So being able to do this every week almost is something that, leading up to it, I have that mindset of, I have to do that again. And then I get in the room and I'm like, these people, I love them. So it's just been something that's brought a bit of joy out of the monotony of quarantine.
I'll go next. So, like everyone else, BJ was the one who brought me in. He's the ringleader of this crazy circus. And I got an email at some point. It wasn't as early as Trent. I feel like I was later along once the idea was established and the Avengers were being assembled actively. And I thought, oh, I'm just getting this email. He's just kind of feeling out like, hey, it felt like a big email of I'm going to throw this big wide net to all people and see who's interested. And I said, me. And all I knew that it was going to be the Star Wars-y prequels and sequels and all the things. And then I got an email back being like, hey, do you want to be Leia? And I'm like, excuse you? And I was somewhere in between flabbergasted and really, really flattered. And so, duh. And just duh. So, yeah, that's why I'm here.
So for me, a long time ago I'm not going to make that joke. But a long time ago, I had this roommate named BJ who one day had this text of Verily, A New Hope, and he started reading from it in our living room. And I happened to be at my piano at the time, and I've been a big Star Wars fan and John Williams fan for ever. And I started kind of just improv playing along with it. And so I'm convinced that that's where the idea of having musical accompaniment by me was planted. And so, yeah, BJ reached out to me, and I was very excited to get to tinkle the ivories, so to speak, and provide a little bit of a soundtrack.
Like everyone else, BJ is the one who brought me in. He posted something on Facebook. Feels like forever ago now, but casting a wide net, seeing if anyone was interested. I responded almost immediately, and the rest is history. Here we are.
I'll go next. A very similar situation to Jeff. I met BJ on the battlefield of Agincourt, and he saved my life a couple times, as several different Frenchmen. So I owed him a debt, and he convinced me to join his posse, his band of brothers, if you will. And now I'm here, and it's, again, like people have said, it's a highlight of my week, being in quarantine and just having a chance to just at least read theater and be a part of a group again. It's been great.
I'll jump in. I actually am unlike everybody. I actually found out about this through Kimmy, who had we were Marco Poloing together, and she says, "Hey, I'm doing this." BJ, who we both know from work, he's putting on these like Wednesday nights. We're doing readings of Star Wars, but it's Shakespeare. And I was like, that sounds really cool. And I watched the first one while I was decorating a cake. I just have that memory together. It has to go together. And I was like, this is really fun. It's a great way to have something during quarantine to kind of keep you going, keep you knowing what day of week it is. So I messaged BJ. I was like, hey, if you ever need anyone, let me know. And he's like, I'll add you to the group. And, I'm really glad that I reached out to BJ, because it's been a lot of fun doing this, just having fun with the cast. And it was fun to watch, but it's even more fun being a part of it, because you get to see all the side conversations going on, and you start getting these inside jokes. And it's fun to create something for people as well, so that way they can kind of, get that escape during everything that's going on right now.
So I am unlike most of you good people. I was jumped in, if you will, by a dear friend, Mr. Jeff Lowe. We worked together. There he is, or somewhere. And we worked together doing Merchant of Venice. So him knowing that I have a Shakespearean background, he's probably seen me wear my Star Wars shirt to rehearsal about half a dozen times easily. And he was like, hey, there's this thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, bet. He's like, they want you to be Lando. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, the coolest brother in the galaxy. Done. I mean, nobody else can do Lando the way I can. Wait. Okay, scratch that, because he old now. But yeah. Found out from Jeff. BJ invited me. Here I am. Highlight of my week, especially with everything going on. I don't want to get too deep into it, but for someone like me, this is a very welcome chance to nerd out with some fellow nerds and have a good time and polish your skills as an actor as well, because it is Shakespeare after all, and that's how we do it. Works every time.
Obviously, people that are watching this, if you haven't seen any of our videos yet, please look us up, watch from the beginning, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. I mean, we start very simply and then just kind of spiral out from there. So it's definitely worth watching in the original release order of Star Wars. I have to put that out there, because there's people that would watch it like 1, 2, nah, we got to watch it as the books were written, essentially, in this case. And then we have our Facebook page that you can follow us on too. That way you can stay up to date on everything. So it's Zounds, Zounds. So Zounds Online Productions. That way you can follow us and have a good time.